Welcome to the Obsidian Loft podcast. This week on our 11th episode, we discuss energy systems in Feed the Beast 1.7 mod packs, Pocket Edition upgrades, Denmark in Minecraft, and more. I'm Jason Oakley, and this is my co-host, Will Tompkinson. Hi, Will.
Hey, Jace. Good to be here, mate. We try and record every Monday night. We actually got it right this week, Australian time. Had to happen eventually, I suppose. You try enough,
Wonders
you'll get it right.
never cease. It's a miracle!
That's it. Our servers are, our public server is mc.obsidianloft.com. Go there, check it out, play with mini games, have some fun with your mates. And also we have a special Feed the Beast modified server for our subscribers to join and have fun and stuff like that.
Obsidian Craft.
That's it.
Our website is at www.obsidianloft.com. It's hosted by Engine. If you wish to join the Engine network, sign up at the link on our website. In this segment of the show, we talk about what we've been up to over the last week in our Minecraft adventures. So, Mr. T, would you like to start?
No.
I saw a bunch of stuff that you've been doing lately. I've mostly been working with Noobs and Thorny building their special world in creative mode, so...
Yeah, I got sick of using a hand grinder to effectively, do things. So, anything at all. I didn't have power, I haven't had reliable, ways of smelting.
So far behind. Normally it's me who's like, no, screw, I can't be bothered doing it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure what happened. So I basically have come up with this really intricate system. We might show you later. We might if we have time. But basically, it involves a lot of cows and creepers to make power with sewage.
Sure, if that's what makes you happy.
So it's because a lot of the stuff now, and we'll talk about this later as well, but a lot of the stuff is heading towards RF power now, Rastafarians or whatever it is.
Nobody likes that IC2. They've really mucked that up. I was happy with IC1 and I could make my solar panels, which took a while. Now I'm just like, I'm not even going to bother with solar panels. And I put up my wind turbines. I don't need too much stuff to charge at the moment, so... Yeah,
well, that's it. I mean, but it wasn't only the IC2, it was the fact that you also had, there was blue power, there was red power, there was EUs, there was MJs, and there was another one, I think, too. So it's sort of all starting to go by the wayside now, and they're sort of starting to settle on RF, which is great, because... as it stands now, pretty much everything except the IC2 stuff, basically everything works on RFs now. So if you've got decent, reliable RF, which isn't as... See, the thing with RF is it's very easy to produce. It's very hard to produce in large quantities. So if you want to run things... I haven't
even looked into it at all. I don't know how to make it or what's the best way. I think I emailed myself a couple of links and then went... Oh, I think IC2, EU and MJ is more popular, so I'll just stick with that. I won't even read this.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is starting to swap now, because in the mod pack we run, the Obsidian Craft pack that we're running on our server, we don't have MJ at all. That's not even a thing. And EU is fairly limited, as I said, to mainly just... Whoops, just covered you up with the multi-launcher there. Well, actually, that's a good point. You can see there we use the multi-launcher, and I've got...
Speaking of launchers, there's a lot of controversy, particularly on Twitter this week, about the AT launcher, because they recently added in a new ability into their launcher that when you log on to a server, it would cache your session credentials to make sure that you weren't running a pirated version and switching between versions or something. They said they didn't want people using pirated versions of Minecraft with their AT launcher, so when you logged off, it would keep a copy of your session in case you wanted to log on again. And also they said it would also work with if the Minecraft authentication servers went down, they would still hold on to your session, which was still valid for a while to let you be able to log back into Minecraft on your own server without having to take it offline. They saw this as a feature. Mojang, particularly Notch, saw this as stealing people's credentials, and with the possibility, of course, of being able to log in as these people on other servers if you use their session key. So he said this is really bad, and there's a lot of toing and froing on Twitter and also in Reddit where people were saying, come on, leave these guys alone, they're doing all right, and the AT Launcher guys going, what's wrong with it? And Notch and Jeb and them saying, well, it's really bad and we want to look after the security of our clients and users. And then AT Launcher guys going, oh, you know, you always threaten that you're going to cut out things and stop us doing stuff, but you've never done it before. And then Notch says, well, I've got no problem with getting some lawyers involved. Would you like me to do that? And then suddenly the new version AT Launch comes out that doesn't have that ability. So, But MultiMC guys said they don't have a problem. The FTB server guys said they actually contacted Mojang and talked to them about it, and they said that their launcher is going to be okay. So, you know,
I don't know how much longer the actual FTB launcher is going to be around, to be honest, because so many more people now are moving to either their launcher or the MultiMC launcher because they're much more configurable. The FTB one...
Well, that's going away now that it's become part of the Curse network. They're going to have a Curse launcher and throw away the FTB altogether. I don't know what that's going to mean.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. Like, just when it actually started to become a good launcher too. So, I don't know. I mean, there are some downsides to things like MultiMC, for example, because let's say the A launcher with the Bacon Donuts Sky Factory, because it's part of that launcher pack, it auto updates when there's a new version available. The MultiMC launcher doesn't, because it doesn't know there's a new version available. So I guess there's a few, like everything, there's an upside and a downside to it. I like the MultiMC because you can get everything to do what you want it to do, how you want it to do it.
Yeah, I would like to use that for my main launcher. I mean, people were saying, oh, why don't you just use the Mojang launcher and you can create different sessions. In one of the sessions you could put all your mod packs and stuff, but it's not easy. I mean, with MultiMC, you click a button that says mod directory or mod folder or something like that, and then you can just drag and drop everything into that one without having to go see user, WauloK, local, app data, .minecraft, mods, and all this. You just click a button, bang, there's the folder, drag all your stuff in, away you go. Configured.
Right. And I need to apologise now for the people who are watching the video and listening to your audio. There was probably 30 seconds of static there because I just decided to open up my Minecraft, the Obsidian craft. It probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, so I do apologise for that, but hopefully now it won't do that. But I'll just quickly show you what I was talking about with the power, sort of the configuration I had. What frames? Who needs frames? Who don't need frames? The frames are weak in this one. So, but basically you can see, I'll try and quickly explain it as well as I can given the frame rate that I've got, which is almost like non-existent. But you can see I've got a heap of cows here, which is part of the reason I've got no frames. And what they're doing is there's a sewer here, which is collecting everything that the sewer collects. And it goes down, it also collects some mob essence when they breed. And that goes downstairs down here into this room, which is really horribly wired up at the moment. But you get the general idea. The sewage goes into the composter, which goes down around, follows that around, and goes into the fertilizer, which when the auto planter plants the wheat or plants the seeds between the fertilizer and the sprinkler, which randomly bone meals, that's an open blocks mod. And by the way, I've learned something interesting. You can put aqueous accumulator underneath that tank, but you don't need water around the aqueous accumulator. It will actually produce water, very, very little, but it will actually produce enough water to run the sprinkler without having a water source around it. So I've got that there. Then
of course, suck the moisture out of the atmosphere or something.
It must do, yeah. So then I've got the harvester here, which collects the wheat, sends it up, It goes up into that chest and sends it into here. Inside this room here is a auto breeder, which breeds the cattle, and that automatically gives me some liquid XP, some mob essence from up there as well. That collects that. And then there's a block here called a chronotyper, which is set to moving babies. So every time the cows breed, all the babies go into this room here. There's also a creeper spawner in there as well, and so when they drop and after they grow up to be big and strong, there's a grinder block there. So once they grow up to be big and strong, they get ground up into meat. And so I get my meat and leather in here, and my gunpowder from the creepers go into this chest, and then the gunpowder and the liquid mob essence go into these reactant dynamos, and they produce the power which keeps my redstone energy cell full, and this system produces enough power to keep that running, as well as if I go up here, you'll also see that I've just started to get my IC2 stuff up and running, and I've got another energy cell here. Then the redstone power is going into a lava fabricator, which uses RF to create lava. That then goes into a geothermal generator, which one geothermal generator is enough to run 3 furnace and 2 macerators full time. So that's pretty cool. So it's a self-supporting system. I don't know how much excess it's making. It's making enough to run that, but that's probably about its limit. Let me get out of there now because that's really, really killing my frames. But yeah, so basically it's a long, complicated system, but that's the cool part about RF. Because it is so underpowered, it sort of forces you to create different ways of doing things. So I could have done another couple of ways. I could have used a reactant dynamo. It would have just meant that I would have had to have made a blaze spawner and then had an auto crafting table to turn the blaze rods into blaze powder. And I would have, would have had to use a XP bottler or an XP drain into an XP bottler, which would have bottled the XP bottles, which I would have had to make from an auto crafting table to make the bottles, which I would have had to supply with glass, and then use the autonomous activator to right click them into the drain to catch the XP, to turn it into liquid XP, to turn that to run in the reactant dynamo. So that was another way of doing the same sort of thing. So
sort of reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Troy McClure is showing Jimmy the slaughterhouse where the cows go along this conveyor belt into the slaughterhouse where all the juices go through the sluice and put it on the back of this meat truck.
Well, actually, there is a slaughterhouse in that mod as well. If you don't just want the beef, if you want to do something more constructive with the beef, you can run the slaughterhouse, which also gives you more waste, which you can turn back into usable stuff again. But it also gives you, then you put it into a meat packer. And from a meat packer, you can get meat cubes. So, like actual blocks. So you can either build with them if you wanted to, or you turn them into nuggets and things like that, or you turn them into a triple meat treat. So yeah, there's a few other things you can do as well.
Tasty. I would like some meat bars for breakfast, thanks.
That's it. So you can have your 3 fruit salad, and then you can have your triple meat treat, and then you can have a cheese ball for dessert. The
triple meat treat sounds like something you give to Rover. Hey boy,
what about the
triple meat treat?
What about the bucket of meat?
1 bucket of meat, thanks. That's when you go to KFC and order a bucket of chicken wings or something.
Well,
I want 1 bucket of meat, thanks.
It's hardly meat though, is it, at that point? So, But yeah, so I haven't been playing much, but I did spend a couple of hours last week organising all that. So, but then I was going to do some more last night, and I stumbled across the new snapshot, and I've been playing with that since.
Oh, yeah, we might have a look at that a bit later. You mentioned, remember last week I was talking about losing my portals. Well, it turned out I went into the Twilight Forest the other day, and I was trying to remember where my quarry was, and since I didn't have any waypoints or my portals, I was like, I think it's this way, and I just flew off in that direction for a while, and I was like, oh, here's my quarry. So that was lucky. But unfortunately, it turns out, I remember there was a bug mentioned that chunk loaders do have a bug where they can reset a chunk, and that's exactly what's happened where my quarry was. All of the engines and the ender chest and the ender lava chest thing and all of that, the whole chunk has reset, and you can see if you fly down into the quarry, there's this one corner where it's put all of the dirt and the rocks and everything back in. Noobs was saying, wouldn't that be cool if there had been like a bunch of diamonds at the bottom, and then it resets the chunk, and then you can remine the diamonds, and then it resets the chunk, and you remine the same diamonds.
I'm sure it happens.
It creates a random chunk, but maybe it's got diamonds in there. It's quite a possibility.
Well, it's only random the first time. After that, it'll recreate the same chunk again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
Because it recreates it based on what's around it. So you can have it's the same reason if you have a map and you have the seed for the map and you delete the map and put the same seed in, it'll always create it the same way, more or less. There might be a few little differences, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, so. Unfortunately, there's no trees growing on the new chunk, so the edges where you've got right on the edge of the chunk, there's a tree trunk growing up here, one up there, and half the leaves, but the other half where that chunk is just blank airspace. So
yeah,
you got half trees all around the edges. It's
so
weird.
Is this chunk loader thing a new thing? Is it like we've never? I mean, we've been using chunk loaders on and off in Feed the Beast for 2 years now, and I've never had that happen.
Yeah, no, I did read. I can't remember where it was, but I did read that there was I think it's like a rare possibility that it can happen, and
of course
obviously it has happened to me.
It's probably because you upset the space-time continuum with your flux capacitor generator.
Well, I did, because it's a generator that shouldn't be able to do what it was doing with the setup that I had, but it was doing it anyway.
No, the whole world just didn't explode.
Exactly.
So, but I noticed you got been playing with the Archimedes. The Archimedes.
Oh yeah, Noobs loves that as well. She's made a bunch of airships and cars and mini flying vehicles and all sorts of things. So it's been because we've been building this town in a creative world. She has tours, so she gets us to log on and climb up into the airship on a rope ladder, and then we sit down and she's like, okay, now we're driving over the restaurant, and then over this way is the hairdressers, and over this way is the pet shop, and just gives us the tour around every now and then.
Yeah, no, it's good fun, isn't it? So, yep. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to be part of our Obsidian Craft server, all you need to do is go to Engine and create an account there, and don't forget to log in, and then if you feel like you want to, you can donate to us, and if you become a subscriber, then you have access to the Obsidian Craft. And that reminds me too, if I have missed somebody, if you guys listen to this, and I know there has been a couple of people who have signed up, if I have missed you and I've forgotten, just shoot me an email and I'll whitelist you, because occasionally I do miss them. So. Yeah,
and we'll have to, because it's our own mod pack, it's not a public one, we have to tell you where the URL is to download it and put it into multi-MC so you can play, because without all the mods, you won't be able to connect to the server anyway.
And then we have to remember how to install it so we can tell you how to do it.
Yeah, I'll have to update that. Add in the extra RAMs, and don't forget your forge loader where it works.
Yeah, so...
Now it's time for some news. Pocket Edition news from Tommaso Cecchi. He says, hey, MCPE worlds in 0.9 can absolutely be infinite. 10k by 10k is just the default world size, but you can change that. Oh, by the way, the new crafting scene, which we talked about on last week's show, is not drag and drop like the PC, which is what we were hoping. Crafting grid is just to show you what items you need. But Johan Bernhardsen says the interface is not drag and drop, but you will be able to see the shapes and stuff, and we're saving the drag and drop for the future, so it will come at some stage.
Yes, but
Mr. T will be looking forward to that day.
Yeah, you can see the screenshot there. And that's a pretty good view. I mean, that's, to me, that's classified as an infinite world. You know,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
How
how
nice
big
it
do
is
you
on
want it?
that one. I've done a lot of bug hunting this week. Finally, the game feels more like stable. Proof, here's a relatively bug-free savannah.
That's it. So,
quite good, doesn't
yeah, they've done well. Like, even with the generation before, you could tell where the biomes, they're basically square cut through the biomes. But,
like the
I mean,
really old Minecraft builds.
Yeah, exactly. But you can see there's a savanna there. There's a jungle, or at least what do they call it? The wooded plains, whatever it is, over to the left there. There's a desert up the top. You know, you go around to the right, you can see there's a river there dividing the savanna and the desert. So it's pretty neat. Like, it's
And you know, the only comments he got about that Twitter post was, "It looks like in the bottom left corner there's a floating tree, OMG." And I was just thinking of you. Oh no, can't have any floating trees on my server, damn it. But he said, "Don't worry, that's taken care of, it's not going to happen." But it was just in that screenshot.
I just thought it was an acacia, actually, because it looks like there are acacias in that shot. Like, if you look, I'll see if I can do this without blowing the world up. If you look down, like, the back there, you can see these look like acacias. Like, they've got the bent trunk in them. So I think that's what they actually are. So
could be.
Yeah, well done.
Feed the Beast news. Jadecat has announced, "We are not comfortable with continuing to attempt to balance multiple energy systems against each other in every pack. There are also less mods with native support for only IC2 or BC at this point. Most mods have swapped to, or at least compatible with, RF." And that's what, Redstone Flux or something?
Yeah, yep.
Going forward to 1.7 mod packs, our main energy system will be RF. We may make packs that focus on other energy systems as well, depending on how viable it is to find enough add-ons for the other energy systems. With the ID change in 1.7, it will not be nearly as difficult for players to drop mods into the packs after creation, or to even combine many of the packs into one large pack, which is something that we had a little bit of trouble with when we were setting up ours. We had to change a few item IDs around. And this is nothing against IC2 or BC. Most of the modding community has adopted or added support for RF, and for the first time in quite a while, modded Minecraft has a nearly universally accepted energy system. What this means: mods we'll be looking at most closely for inclusion in many 1.7 official packs will be mods with native RF support. Mods without native RF support but with the native MJ support will be considered based on what they add that isn't present in other mods and which packs they best fit the theme of. EU mods will probably be in their own pack, assuming there are enough of them to fill out a pack that is significantly different from the main packs. And our goal going forwards is to keep consistent feel in the packs, one energy system per pack, not 3 or 4 or 5. I did notice that she said something they would also consider that currently nobody has made a mod for is energy created from magic.
No, there actually is. There's Ars Magica mod that will do that, and there's a Thorncraft mod that does that, and they use the aura and things like that to create it.
Can you make RF with it?
Yeah. I think it was MJ, but yeah, it was... it's probably something
Somebody should tell you would think that the Feed the Beast stuff wouldn't know something about it.
It's I can't think of the name of the pack they're using. If you go to the Feed the Bee Team pack, it's the magic pack they're using in that, and I can't think. It's Witchery. I think it might be Witchery.
Oh yeah. We talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, and it's got an energy as well. It's got its own energy as well as powering your normal sort of things. It can also run its own teleporters and all this sort of stuff. Once again, they're probably additions that probably need to be updated because they probably do EU or something like that. So maybe they do need to be updated. But there are magic packs out there that do it. But I think this 1.7 thing, it's going to be good in a lot of respects because it's going to make a lot of this sort of thing become more uniform. Like they'll have an energy pack, so everybody who creates something that requires energy just grabs that source code, uses that, and then builds on top of that to create this particular thing they're creating. So
yeah, it's sort of like with the standard Minecraft when we're building Bukkit plugins, most people want to make sure that their plugin works with Vault.
Yeah, that's right.
If it works with Vault, you've got a money system that works with all the different economy packs.
And that's the thing. I think that'll happen with power, whether they settle on just, RF, or if they settle on a combination of RF and MJ, depending on how you want to bias the balance of the power, I guess. But I think, it's going to be a good thing in the long run. There is a lot of doubling up. Same as at the moment with the pack we've got. We've actually got two different mods in there, and they both use different auras. One uses the Thumbcraft aura, and one uses is it the Mistcraft? Or whatever the other pack we've got in there. It uses a different aura.
Or
Dartcraft, I think. Yeah. And so they kind
of... 4 different magic packs in there, it's crazy. But...
Well, see, Dartcraft, there's another power.
Yeah, you wanted it.
Yeah, Dartcraft uses another power system again, because I use Dartcraft power to do all my tools and armor and stuff like that. And you can use a Dark Furnace and stuff like that. So there are things you can use on Dartcraft as well. So that's another power system. So, yeah, I mean...
What was that other mod pack you were thinking about adding some extra...
the red power?
No, new critters.
Oh...
the
Darwin mods?
Yeah, what sort of stuff comes with that?
Well, Darwin mods basically is... we know the theory behind Charles Darwin, everything's evolution and things like that. So, basically... Sorry, I'm just looking it up now, see if I can bring it up. It's basically... I think there's 6 or 8 main animals in the Darwin mod. And then every time you breed them, and every time they change, depending on how you've bred them, what you've bred them with, all that sort of thing. And so you can see there, like there's like the guy who does the Darwin mod is actually the same guy who does the Pokemon pack. So they do Pokemon.
That's on every server in the world at the moment. What is with that?
I don't know.
You have a look at lists of Minecraft servers like Pokemon everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see, you've got, for example, a zombie and a Darwin zombie and a Darwin cow, and you breed them and you get this half zombie cow looking thing.
That walks on hind legs.
Yeah, exactly. Or you'll cross the Enderman with a slime, and you'll get this.
Slenderman.
Yeah, you'll get this purple slime with arms, or So, it's really neat. Like there's all up. There's
it's like unlimited combinations. Nearly looking at that.
Yeah, there's 4 shapes in the body, 3 shapes in the head, 3 shapes in the snout, 3 in the ears and horns, 3 in the tails, 3 in the rear legs, 3 in the front legs. Depending on the speed is dependent on the size of the arms. You can rotate the body up to 90 degrees. There's 16.5 million different colours. There's 11 different skins, and there's 126. This is the thing I like. There's 126 possible drops. Everything from redstone, glowstone, iron tools, minecarts, minecarts with hoppers in them. There's trapdoors. There's iron doors. There's leather. I've seen so many different drops. It's amazing. Now, the cool thing about them as well, if you're doing a power system like you guys saw my power system there, mine's dependent on how fast cows rebreed and grow up to be slaughtered and rebreed. It's about, from the time they breed to the time they can breed again, is about 20 minutes, and from the time a cow or a calf is born to the time it grows up into a cow, anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes in the real world. These Darwin critters that you see here, they will rebreed virtually instantly after they've already bred. And you can see that little shoebox looking thing there. Well, that's their baby, and that can't be killed. That can't be killed till it grows up, but that's their baby, and that grows up from the shoebox to whatever it's going to be in about 4 minutes. So if you're running a power system like mine, instead of having 30 cows like I do, 30 or 40 cows in a pen, you can have 5 or 6 of these guys, and they'll drop more than enough to keep that power system running.
Do you know how you breed them? Do you give them each wheat or something? Or?
Yeah, they just breed wheat on wheat. Yep. So,
interesting.
Yeah, they're really neat, and they're cool because you can have them as pets and stuff like that. Like you can breed all different freaky looking things. And
I think we'll have to go through our mod pack and see what mods we don't use anymore. See if we can do some more RF-ish type stuff and maybe add in Darwin.
Yeah, well that's it. Like I want to put the Red Power mod pack in, and the Darwin mod pack, and we'll get rid of a couple others that we're not using much anymore. But there's an example of the poker. I reckon they're still Pokemon.
Squirtle.
Yeah, exactly. Like they look like it. So
got to catch them all.
And then you can see the slimes up in the background there. But yeah, so that's one of a billion possible different mods. Having said that, I'm wondering if it's worth... Our mod pack's stable now. Is it worth just leaving and starting a new 1.7 pack? So that in 3 months' time, when it becomes prolific and it's something that everyone's going to have,
yep.
we've already got a pack
once
ready to roll.
1.8 comes out for vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, that's pretty much the way it works. You pretty much...
Don't tell me that now. I had a folder in my bookmarks in Chrome that had 1.7 mods, and I went through about 200 of them, found a bunch that I liked, so I added in this mod pack that I was going to talk about. And I was like, about a week or something ago, I was like, oh, we're only doing 1.64, so I think I'll just delete that folder.
You and deleting things.
Now he's like, hey, let's do a 1.7 mod pack. That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? I'm like, well, it would have, but it's not now, because I'll tell you why.
Well, I don't know. I mean, 1.7's coming up, you know.
Delete. Oh, hang on. I did keep it. I just moved it to another folder, 172 mod stuff. What's some stuff that I've looked at?
It's going to be the way to go too, because the actual base, the game itself is updated again. So there's actually things in the game, like there's the new enchanting setups and things like that will benefit, obviously, vanilla, but they'll also benefit, mods that go into it. So I think it's possibly now, because it is something that's going to be starting to become mainstream, it's probably something that's worth looking at.
I'll have a look at some of the stuff that I've got bookmarked. We're not going to worry. Oh, Dungeon Pack. Don't know about that one.
Well, we know what happened last time we put that in.
We'll keep that one out. And
just a word. So just so you guys know what we're talking about. Dungeon Packs, Battle Towers, anything that adds 1 billion spawners to your world, it's bad. It's
really bad.
It doesn't play nicely with servers.
Balkan's Weapon Mod.
Yep.
Daft PVF's Mods Tree Capacitator. You'll be happy about that. That's on 172.
That's something you need.
Crystal Wing Starting Inventory. Hollow Inventory. That looked quite cool.
Okay.
Questy Bus Monsters. Dynamic Mazes. If it's got spawners in, probably won't use it. I don't know if it does. Cocoa Craft, Milk, Cocoa and Coffee. Advanced Machines, Mo Creatures. Tropical Fish, More Nature.
Yeah, maybe that's cool. Work.
Morpheus, IC2, won't worry about that. Universal What about Universal Electricity? What's that about?
Well, that's probably going to be a thing of the past now.
That's
that was
IC2, is it?
That was the converter. That you convert from one to the other, but if you're not going to... Like, if you want to not run IC2, which you don't need IC2 because there's machines in other packs that will do the same job, then you don't need that, really.
Pane in the Glass?
Is that the 4 million different glass variety ones?
Stairs will have a mini glass pane to add to them if they're placed next to a glass pane. So if you've got
Oh yeah.
a step like that and there's a block there, it'll put a tiny bit in there just to fill in the gap so it looks really nice.
Micro blocks, basically.
Yeah, only glass ones for a change. Let's see, what else did I have in there? Tinker's Construct, I said will work. Twilight Forest is compatible. Extra biomes. Well, we're having trouble with those kind of things. Advanced solar panels. Extra bees. Thorncraft. Gravity gun. Steve's carts. NEI out. Hopefully they'll fix NEI with that bug. We've been having a lot of trouble with it. Ars Magica. Computer Craft. Railcraft. Seasons mod. There's a mod that changes seasons while you're there. Trees go through autumn and the leaves fall off and change colour and stuff, I think.
So,
bunch of stuff to check out.
Yeah, and it should be good. I just have to apologise to the listeners. This audio is crackly. I can hear it in my headphones. WauloK can't, because he doesn't get.
I might be able to do something about that.
But I know I think it's a memory leak, and I think it's related to the USB somewhere. So I've got to find out where it is, and it's only something that happens occasionally, and it's very hard to track down, but I do apologise for that.
And unfortunately, bad timing. It just happened on our show.
Yeah.
Also, do you like to build contraptions with redstone? Most players at least experiment with this highly versatile mechanic of Minecraft, but it does come with some frustrating downsides. Wouldn't it be easier if you could just stick redstone lines to walls and ceilings? It's a question I often hear. Lucky for us, that question has been answered. Redstone Paste Mod by Fiber Optic adds a new form of redstone dust into the game, allowing you to transmit redstone signals across a variety of surfaces, including ceilings and walls. Also included are sticky repeaters and sticky comparators to keep your redstone current running strong, or do complex logic no matter where you decide to run your paste. The placement of the paste is uniquely different from normal redstone, however. It can be applied to any of the four directions of a block face, top, bottom, left, right, allowing you to create compact redstone paths and only direct current on the directions you desire. Individual segments can be removed as well, so that you don't have to tear down the entire wiring system just to fix, update, and improve one small section. This is much, much more, but you can discover that for yourself. What do you think about this, Mr. T?
It's basically the red wire in the red power. That's the same thing, except the red power has a lot more features in terms of the options with the redstone stuff. But it's nothing new. It's just a different take on it. It's just using the normal redstone looking wire instead of the red wire, which more looks like a cable. So yeah, it's basically the same thing, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. I quite like the look of it.
The one you had on one of our previous servers, and you had multi-different coloured cables, yellow cables and blue and stuff.
That's another part of it, but yeah, that is the same or similar mod pack. So yeah, I mean, it looks alright. I think they're going to have a hard time with it purely because there already is one that does that, and it's a well-known pack and a more established pack. I think don't get me wrong, if you want to experiment and you don't want all the fancy stuff that comes with Red Power, then the Red Power Reloaded, I think it's called, then, yeah, absolutely, this would be the way to go. If you just want to add a couple of basic redstone functions and you want the ability to do that, which is a really good ability, this would be the way to go. Yeah.
And for vanilla news, Snapshot 14W18A is ready for testing. Pistons now interact with Slimebox in cooler ways, thanks to ZipCrowd for their contribution and lots and lots of bug fixes. So Seth Bling demonstrates some of the many uses of the new slime block piston mechanics. We'll have a look at that now.
Yes, good old Seth Bling.
Basically has one new feature.
He's really good with the redstone stuff too,
but
isn't
this
he?
new feature is really, really cool and definitely very useful. And you can see it here. The slime blocks basically stick to each other when being pushed or pulled by pistons. That's it, but it has a lot of implications. Let me kind of show you some of the stuff you can do with this. Here I've got some flying machines that I've built. Let's just go ahead and put down some redstone. You can see this is a completely autonomous flying machine. It's moving completely on its own. I think I can stand here and it'll probably push me along. It's a little bit buggy, but yeah. So it's flying entirely on its own. It's not touching the ground. It could be, way up in the air and it would still do the same thing. Here's another different design for a flying machine. This one is a little bit slower. It has 5 pistons in the cycle rather than 4 pistons like that one. There's some other designs I found on Reddit. This one is by Dolphris, and let's see, I think if I just put a block here, it'll start going. Yeah, I think that's maybe a little faster than that one. And then here's these guys over here. Didn't mean to put that there. Well, it's part of the machine now. So yeah, there's a bunch of different flying machines. None of these are touching the ground at all. I guess the one farthest in distance is probably the fastest out of the 4. And this last one was designed by Staffen on Reddit. Okay, so there's other cool stuff you can do. Here I've got some doors. Let's see. Yeah, so you flick a lever and very, very quick and easy triple door. You can see there's very little redstone to it. I think I have a little bit more compact version over here. Yeah, people were complaining about compactness in my last video, so I made it a little bit more compact. So this one is the same sort of design. Very compact. This one over here, I don't even know. It's kind of cool. You can move an entire stack very quickly. Not much to it. Okay, so there's another property of slime blocks that I will show you now, and that is that if a piston with a slime block pushes any entity, it launches it up, and of course you bounce. If I toss some items onto a pad like this, push the button, they'll go flying. So it works for any entity. And so I've used that here to create a little bit of an elevator. So if I come up and stand right here, push the button, basically I'm triggering tripwire that triggers some pistons and slime blocks and bounces me upward. And so this is a new kind of automatic elevator. And then when I get to the top, it'll just push me right up here. And I can just take a dive down and land on the slime blocks. Of course, if you hold space, it prevents the jump, so it's kind of an easy down elevator. Let me go over how all this stuff works a little bit more specifically. There's obviously a lot of details to it. Okay, so once again, basically if you have a piston and it's touching a slime block, or it's facing a slime block, then you're going to push more than one block at a time. So it's going to look for any slime blocks that are contiguous with the one slime block that the piston's facing. And it's going to push all of them, plus any blocks that are next to them. You can see off in the distance my machines are still flying. Yeah, so all of these blocks are going to get pushed. Here's another example. Now that there's a limit of up to 12 slime blocks that can get pushed at once. So here we have 12, they all get pushed. Here we have 13 slime blocks. Doesn't work. If I maybe pop out the middle one, now it does work. And then here's another example. So this is, we have a slime block and a redstone block attached to it. Now this is a sticky piston. It's going to push them and then pull them back in. When it does that, it's actually going to create a little clock. When it, whoa, lag. When it pushes the slime block out, the redstone block gets pushed away and the piston's no longer powered, so it retracts, and then the redstone is powering it, and then it, you know, does this indefinitely. Let's see, I should be able to stop it. Let's get some obsidian in my inventory. Let's, come on. Nope. Nope. Man. What? How did it even... I placed it here and it got over there somehow. I can't stop it. I can't stop it. I can't... Ooh, alright, that was a close one. Here we have a block update detector. This is definitely the most simple design for a block update detector now. Any update next to this piston is going to cause it to update. This is because of quasi-conductivity and sort of the normal way that block update detectors work. It'll work with, you know, redstone ore, like I showed in a recent video. Let's put it right here. If I step on it, yeah. Anyway, block update detector, pretty cool. So here we have a slime block. It's attached to this one, and so there's 2 more blocks in the way. So in order for it to push, it's gonna have to push those blocks, and indeed it does. Here's another example. We've got a slime block in the middle, so just one slime block, and then there's 4 blocks attached to it. These 4 red wool blocks, and they have to push even more red wool blocks over here. And it turns out it can't push this. So there's 16 red wool blocks. It's 4 times 4 plus the 1 slime block in the middle. That's 17. It can't push those because it can only push 12 at once. So if I knock it down by 4, it still shouldn't be able to do that. But if I get rid of 1 more, then it can do it. Yeah, and it's not.
So yeah, that's if you want to find out more about that, go and check out Seth Bling. He does some pretty cool stuff. There's one thing I was playing with before, was just making a set of stairs that you have to trigger to be able to get up, because otherwise it puts it one block too far out of whack, and you can't
Sort of a security measure.
Yeah, you can't do a double jump up to the top, but if you make stairs out of it, then it lifts the whole set of stairs up that extra block, so you can just walk straight up. But it's pretty cool. Like, there's some stuff there that certainly made things easier, like things like making redstone elevators. It's so much easier now. These flying machines that he was making. Can anybody say lag? I mean, can you imagine?
There's ones that wandered off into the desert by themselves.
Exactly. Like, can you imagine?
How long is that going to keep going? Does it just keep going? I guess once the chunk unloads, it's going to stop. But
theoretically, but I mean,
pretty far.
If theoretically, it'll only load as far as the furthest chunk. But I mean, if you've got 3 or 4 players on the server and you've got it up at block height, 150 or something above their heads, and you've got a few players on the server, theoretically, it could travel a long way.
Yeah.
So.
And Denmark in Minecraft, you mentioned this to me just after our last show, just released when our show finished.
Yeah.
People build all kinds of things in Minecraft, from houses to massive buildings to entire fantasy realms. And this is the first time we've actually seen an entire country modelled in the game, and it's a 1-to-1 scale. This model of Denmark takes up approximately 4,000 billion blocks and over a terabyte of disk space. The model was produced using publicly available information such as satellite photos, maps and more to generate the map as accurately as possible. Originally designed for use in classroom, this amazing map can be downloaded in 10 square kilometre sections, just in case you don't have the drive space for the whole country. And especially, I suppose you would download something like that through BitTorrent, right? I would like to download 1 terabyte, thanks.
At the moment, it's only... and I actually tried to get it when I saw the show notes earlier. And I thought, I'll just get one of the... I think they're... 500 meg or something, the 10k by 10k.
Yep.
And I thought, I'll just grab one of those. So I logged onto the website. I went to the website, which is in, Denmark, of course. So it's in there. I don't have a language selection that I could find. So then I had to go through the Google Translate, and then it turns out you've got to sign on to their government server to get access to the files, because they're keeping it on the government server because it's like the only server that's big enough to hold it on. And so then you've got to sign up. It's free to sign up, but then you've got to sign up, and the sign up page wouldn't load in English because Translate couldn't do it because it was secure pay. And I'm like, no. So I would really have loved to have seen it. It would have been pretty cool, but unfortunately
somebody needs a mirror at somewhere.
Yeah, pretty much. So unfortunately, it was pretty much impossible to actually get a hold of. But I saw a few different. I hunted around for a few different screenshots. It looks pretty neat. Like, it's amazing. Some of the detail they put in. I think they must have used. I mean, obviously they wouldn't have done it by hand. It would have all been done with some sort of program that takes advantage of satellites and stuff like that. But it's pretty neat. It's not very detailed. It's pretty low resolution. Like, it's the same sort of resolution as the satellite images.
Blocky.
Yeah, funnily enough. But it's not blocky in a 1 meter by 1 meter sense. It's blocking in a 10 meter by 10 meter sense. But the fact that it's to scale actually makes things look weird, because when was the last time you actually thought about the scale in Minecraft? I mean, if you work it out, you know, you're about 2 meters tall. You know, you've got a reach of about 3 or 4 meters. You know, your stride's about 2 meters. You can jump about 6 meters. You know, so if
unless you put in a jump boost pyramid.
Yeah, that's it. You know, and then you've got, you know, you build a building, you build it, you know, you think, oh yeah, I'll just do it, I don't know, 25 by 25. Well, that's 25 meters by 25 meters. I bet you your house probably isn't really that big in real life. You know, that's a lot of surface area. You know, so when things are done actually to scale, it actually looks quite weird.
Just not used to it.
Yeah, exactly. So
shall we check out a server tour?
We can. Let us do that.
So this one is called play.fanaticmc.com. It's just one that I found last night, in fact.
Why you know Worky? I'm having switching problems tonight.
So they got some nice pixel art of their stuff around. Hide and seek.
There's 445 players. And I can't.
Yeah, usually we go on servers that got maybe 12, so I thought we'd go on a bit more. There was some that had like 600 players. I thought maybe too much chat spam, so Sky Wars.
I'm just going to show your camera.
The walls! Do you remember the walls? Everybody used to go crazy about the walls. I haven't seen anyone play that or have it on a server in so long. I was going to say,
do we even have it on our server anymore?
No. Maze. Hit PvP is everywhere. Minigames.
I don't really want to do this, but I have to reload my Minecraft because the authentication went weird because I had 2 copies open. So hopefully...
Minigames, I know they've got a version of Temple Run, but it's not my one. It's just a boring one where you just run. There's no blocks that change your or have any effect on you or anything. It's just mainly run and jump, and that's about it. So bending. I don't know what bending is.
Hopefully the audio won't get messed up too bad.
Dropper. Whatever Dropper is. Have you heard of Dropper?
Yeah, that's...
Hunger Games.
I think I know what that one is, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so what have we got going on here? Whoa,
they got 2 Dropper servers. Let's have a look at one of them. Somebody's called Sodium Peroxide. That's an interesting name. Must be blonde. No, that's hydrogen peroxide. Yeah. What does sodium peroxide do?
Sodium peroxide.
Welcome to the Dropper 1.4. One goal, survive the fall. Important video settings, render distance far, brightness bright, clouds off. Use /spawn to get back here, CI to clear inventory. Well, I don't have anything anyway.
I've actually got to turn my graphics down because for some reason of late, my 2 gig video cards by 2 apparently can't play Minecraft.
Well, they've got like maybe 20 different ones. Let's try curtain. What's that do? So level 6 curtain.
See if that's better. There we go. So if I right click on my clock, I have... Oh, let me actually switch cameras. There we go. Walls, hide and seek, temple run, dropper, factions, survival, kit PvP, bending, from the avatar show, master of the elements. Creative,
well, I'm in dropper, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Hunger Games, mini games, Skygrid. Skygrids, I don't see many of those. Skygrid's pretty cool.
Well, it looks like my Minecraft's just locked up.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that's unfortunate.
Oh, now it's moving. I did an alt tab and it woke up.
Okay, dropper. So what do we do?
I think you have to try and drop down as far as you can without dying or something. I don't know. I died.
How'd that work for you?
I don't know. It doesn't look very interesting unless you just play it against other people or something. Here's the first one, madness. So there's a hole in the floor. People are dropping down. Maybe you have to try and land on a spot that's safe or something. Oh yeah, try and land in water. There's it's a 2x2 blocks of water, and you could kill yourself if you don't land in the right exact spot. It's not
This
really
is,
ongoing excitement with everyone
no,
going.
not really.
Walk back to spawn, or you climb back up the top and do it again. Okay, yeah, I get it. Let's go back to spawn. So that was fun, I guess.
By fun, you mean?
I just saw you there.
Yeah.
Alright, what else?
I gotta check out SkyGrid, because I haven't seen a SkyGrid server that's worth playing on for a while. They always tend to get full of crap and nobody ever cleans them up, so...
Yep, I'm heading into Skywars.
Set home... not Sky... Well, it wasn't Skywars. There's probably not enough people to play that. That's usually the problem we have.
Well, my my tab button is nearly full screen of everything.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, maybe 50 people or something. Jump into one of these.
We do not mind mature language, but noob rage is not allowed.
Game starting in 15 seconds. 59 people online, there you go.
You can get a sponge by typing get protect.
2 seconds, 1 second. Battle has begun. Is this? Oh, this got a chest. What do we got? All of these things. Let's take those.
You set home.
I'll probably die quickly, but I don't mind because that's what I do anyway. You got a fire starter, but you can't set fire to anything, so that's good, I guess. Put on some gear.
Great. It teleported me back to the same place I was. That's fantastic. That works wonders, that. Don't break the block. Okay, so home is start. Okay, slash begin. And we deliberately don't go to these servers before we do the tour because it wouldn't really be fair if we did, because we'd know what they
it's
were.
fun finding out what's here.
Yeah, so I know it seems a little bit awkward, but that's because, well, it is, I guess.
That's half the fun, finding out what's interesting around.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's melon. I'll take that food. It's a good start. Yeah, what
You're
have
doing
I
a
got?
Skyblocks thing.
Sky Grid. Yeah. I haven't.
What kind of schematics do they have? Anything interesting?
I haven't checked out Skyblocks yet, believe it or not.
Oh, what's Sky Grid then?
Sky Grid's the one where it's got all the blocks in the sky.
Ah, yeah, you installed that one time, didn't you?
Yeah. I actually...
Okay, that's
crikey. The biggest problem I had was it wasn't playable on multiplayer because it had this bad habit of not allowing a lot of the world edit stuff to... like, you couldn't protect and all that sort of stuff.
Aye.
So, hopefully they've fixed a lot of that stuff now so that... really?
Well, this seems to be a public server it's running on, so it must be okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to have the protection thing figured. I was just reading some of the things you can use sponge to protect your area. So let's see. Of course I pick on the block that's got cactus on it. Just trying to do this water block so I can go up. Haha. And up. Give me that block. It's gonna take too long.
Oh, just heard an explosion near me. Someone's blowing up.
Okay, let me see. Somebody started to build something along here. Anything interesting? Are they going anywhere in particular? No. Okay. No, it goes right down there. It's not a bad game, SkyGrid. It's that if you can protect it and you can get it to work properly in multiplayer, it might be worth looking at putting it back on our server again.
Yeah.
And that was the one reason we stopped using it, was because it was not friendly with multiplayer. You'd come back and he'd been griefed and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So, which in a game like this, where it's like Skyblocks in that respect, it takes so long to get anywhere. The last thing you want is to come back to a grief block. Anyway, that seems to work. It's quite nice. Let's go back and have a look and see what else is happening.
I haven't been killed yet, but I'm down in underground mining, so...
Just minding your own business.
Had a lot of explosions around the place. There's a lot of lava and water from people. I'm sure someone's gonna throw a fishing line at me and knock me off or something.
Yeah. Let me check out Skyblocks and see what's going on here. Command information. I need to go here to find out what the... Because everybody seems to have a different way of starting the same stupid game. / New Island. Okay. It's a 3 high L shape. There should be sand down here somewhere. Yep, there's sand.
Oh, someone's shooting me. I'm dead.
Yeah.
It was fun. Where'd I come? Oh, 3 players remain. That's not too bad.
It's a fairly standard skyblock. There's nothing special about it.
I found Wally. Oh, he changed. There's a lot of people there. That guy with the red stripes, where's Wally? Right, where's the hub? Hub.
You can do /spawn to take you back.
Hub?
/hub, yeah.
Let's see.
Hmm.
He's doing hide and seek. Number 2.
What are you doing? Hide and seek?
Yep.
Okay, let's go to hide and seek.
There's only one other person in this one.
Come on. Where'd you find that?
Let me try the first one. I just used my compass. Hide and seek, try number 1.
Yeah, I clicked on it and all it did was take the icon out of the...
Bug. There's only one other person in this hide and seek as well. Maybe there's a game on.
Where do you want to go? Number 3.
I'm in number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an interesting design down there.
There's
It's like a dragon or something and a giant enderman.
number 3 game is starting.
How many seconds?
I know, you need 3 players to start. So if I go to
I'm in number 1.
number 1,
There's me and one other person here. Someone
can I
came
go to number 1 from here, or have I got to go back to...
/hub.
Yeah. Come on, wakey wakey. Oh, man. Come on, there we go.
Here's Mr. Tomkinson and Gary. Arden Jr.
Buy
and
more items in the shop.
FX lol.
Use...
I guess the game starts automatically.
Balance. You can't use commands while in the game. Yeah, great.
Maybe there's a game already on. Oh, that one looks nice over here with the mansion.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a game on at the moment. Guess we would have to wait till it finishes before we could start. That's why there's nobody here, because they're all in the game at the moment.
11 hiders. 1 seeker and 1 spectator.
Just over a minute to go.
They've got a giant dragon thing over here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, and the Endermans looks funny.
Yeah.
Breaking the glass. Smash. Smash.
Doesn't say you can't do it, it just puts it back.
Yeah. None of that spammy, you can't do that here. 40 seconds to go.
That is a
I'm in
pretty
a
cool
tree.
looking castle.
Yep.
Man, that ice coffee is very coffee.
That's fun. Oh, I just got you do not have permission for this area. Seconds. 1, 0. Oh, here's everybody.
Prop hunt round starting in 60 seconds.
Sweet.
Welcome to live TV, ladies and gentlemen.
We got that on our server. Haven't played it in a while though.
No, I haven't. To be honest, I've been lazy. I go onto our server to make sure it works, and that's
30 seconds to go. I wonder what I'm going to be.
Can you see what you're going to be?
I think when you change it can tell you. Maybe
Yeah.
tab tells you or something. Hopefully it's something like, you are now a
Yeah.
dirt block.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you're now grass. I like the way the Enderman's holding that big block.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bloop.
Okay, your game has been started. Hide from the seekers.
You're an
You're
ender
unsure.
chest.
I'm a dispenser.
Where's the ender chests?
The only problem with this game is it doesn't really lend itself to good video, unfortunately.
No, there's a lot of sitting around waiting for somebody to find you kind of thing.
Oh, and you can't F5, it doesn't show you what you are.
No. You see yourself holding onto a sword and like, okay, I guess that's on something.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody found already. Gary Arch Jr.
What were you?
Ender chest.
Oh.
There's a TNT block just wandered into my room. It's weird when you see something like that. I have the best location on the map.
I'm a
40 seconds left.
I'm a dispenser.
How about the Seeker in exchange? I get cookies. Oh, there's another one found. It'd be really helpful if I was a web. I mean, everywhere you look, there's a web.
Yeah.
Another one? Wow, these guys are not good at hiding. Dude, I'm an ender
Oh,
chest.
okay. You can press tab, and it tells you.
Who's what?
Yeah.
Your team, hider. You can see a gamer tag underground.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Did the
The players don't have it, but the blocks people don't have it. The
yeah.
hiders, but the other ones do. So you can see when they're getting close to you, you go, ha ha ha, you can't find me.
You walk straight past me, sucker.
How lame are you? What if no one loves you because I don't? Oh, you got another one?
Kebab.
Kebab 1, 2, 3. Kebab 1, 2, 3.
Kebab. Do you automatically,
There's
when
only
you're a
6
block...
of us left.
It's been ages
6
since
of
I've
each.
played this. If you're automatically a block, do you fit properly as a block, or do you sort of randomly sit on top of the other blocks?
No, I think it squashes you in exactly where you stop, like
okay.
a block. I don't think you're like 4 pixels off or something.
Yeah.
Oh, they got another one. There's only 5 of us left. 140 seconds to go. Jump. Oh, fell through some spider web.
Golden sword, projectile protection, protection of fire, protection of feather falling. Hmm.
Oh, somebody's in my room. It's Jeffrey. He's got me.
Hit him back. Oh, that's not fair. You can see where I am.
I'm not watching that screen. I got no idea. Let me alt tab. Well, you said you're a dispenser, that's all I know, so if I find a dispenser somewhere, I'll try whacking it. I'll whack you in a dispenser hole.
Yeah, shove your sword in my dispenser. Wait, what?
It's a room full of furnaces. Very dark in here.
Yeah, the lighting's not... Although, I guess it helps with the atmosphere, I suppose. I had somebody walk straight past me.
Yeah. Was it me?
No.
Oh, somebody just whacked me. Who's... something? Somebody to whack me, they must be a hider. There's a guy here who's whacking all the blocks now, because he must have got hit through. He walked through this door here and got whacked by someone. But I can't see... I don't think you can become steps. The only thing around here is steps.
Cobweb,
This is in the
maybe?
darkness bit that I can't see.
Hiders, workbench, piston base, and dispenser.
Did you get found?
Nope.
Or the dispenser?
Yep.
Workbench, piston bases. I don't see any workbenches around here or piston base or dispensers. Oh, game over. Ran out of time.
Suckers.
You're too good, man.
We'll get to this game because it's not exactly riveting. It's good fun, but not so much if you're just watching.
Yeah.
What's this? Price is price potato. Maze, you say. It's amazing. Hello,
Splash.
world, load whenever
Oh, you just fall through. Do slash spawn to escape the maze. Okay. It's not actually a plugin, it's just a maze where you have to walk through and try to find your way out, I guess.
Fun, complete the maze. Well, it does say that.
I thought it was like a plugin or something where you could do something, but...
I like the way they've got the the signs on the bookshelves just to say what things are. What mini games have they got? Teleport to mini games. Teleport to Temple Run. Let's check out their Temple Run, shall we?
Yeah, you just type slash run and then run. That's about it. If you fall down off the thing, you die and then you're out of the game.
Run where? Welcome to Temple Run, site slash run. Okay. No, really?
Yeah.
So the first thing I do is fall through. Alright, let's try that again. At least it is different every time, I'm giving that.
Well, that was boring. Okay.
Oh, and they fall. Okay. The blocks fall if you hang around too long.
Ah.
Still crap.
Can't stand in one place. Yeah.
Still not as good as our temple one.
Oh, well, that was a nice check of the server there.
Yeah. Nope, let me just disconnect so I
different.
don't get drilled. Yeah, so I mean that's what was that one again? That was
Fanatic.
Yep.
So if you wish us to demo your server, please email us and we'll record a video of us on your server. Donations, if you wish to donate to our show, you can do so via the PayPal donation button on our website at www.obsidianloft.com. If you add a message such as your server address, we'll read it out on our show. We have a launcher with our private mod pack installed to help you get onto our survival server.
If you wish to access the Feed the Beast or the Obsidian Craft server, I need to change that because it's not. Make sure you go to our website, create an account, which is obsidianloft.com. Create the account there, log in, and use PayPal to subscribe to our donator or VIP subscriptions.
Thanks for listening and watching yet another episode of the Obsidian Loft podcast. Make sure you subscribe in iTunes or your other favourite podcast application. You can also watch our show at YouTube at www.youtube.com/theobsidianloft. Don't forget to subscribe so you'll keep up to date with our shows. If you wish to email us and provide comments or suggestions for our show, contact us at feedback@obsidianloft.com, and we might even have an audio version of the show coming up soon.
Hopefully we're working on it. We're just going to clean the audio up and it should be good. You can email us as well at WauloK or mrtomkinson at obsidianloft.com. You can follow us on Twitter. Our main accounts are at WauloK, which is WAULOK, and Mr. Tomkinson, MrTomkinson. I really need to get a new one. And our show's account is at Obsidian Loft, which is OBSIDIAN and low FT. Music for our show is provided by Free Stock Music. Man, I'll get that right one day. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep mining.
See you then.